Here we go. We're
Good
live.
morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is episode 684. It's officially Super Bowl week 59.
Oh yeah.
We'll be here all week to talk about the Super Bowl. Today we're going to go over the Pro Bowl games that wrapped up yesterday. Talk about some Steelers, some other local Pittsburgh sports. But good morning, everybody. How you doing today,
Good
Michael?
morning. I'm doing great. Can
Oh,
we just got a piece of breaking news?
That's what I was about to bring up, Michael.
yeah.
Miles Garrett just requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns because he has a desire to win.
Wow, look at that.
Wow. You
Instead
know
of
what?
building a team around this guy, because last year the defense was really good and they played a really good season and made the playoffs, and let's go somewhere else to where it's already built for me. I mean, that's go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ooh. No, you know what? I'd take him. Screw it, I'd take him.
Oh, I would too. I you know
I
I'd
know,
take
right?
I absolutely.
I would too.
I'd send Cam
Like you put
Hayward.
you.
I'd send Cam Hayward the hell out of town, and I would bring Miles Garrett here in a heartbeat.
I was gonna say I'd take him and have TJ Miles and Watt or and Cam all on one side and just rush to that side, just blitz all three of them every single play and see what happens. Say fuck it. But no, that is wild. That is wild. Yeah,
Is it
damn.
a surprise though? I mean,
That's
anybody that ever played in Cleveland
No.
never seems to have a good experience. Nobody ever walks
no.
away from a Cleveland's career saying, "You know what? Cleveland is the best city to play football for. The fans in Cleveland are the best." You never hear that. Every story with Cleveland ends in tragedy.
Yeah, and my God, the only one who stuck it out was what Joe Thomas, the left tackle, and he might have been nuts to want to stay there his entire career because I would not want to stay there my entire career at all. So yeah.
Well, everybody,
Whew.
welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Derpy. Derpy, how are you today, my friend?
I am better than a Cleveland Browns fan. I'll tell you that. My mother.
We got a
Doing
lot. We
better
got a
than
lot
your mom.
Yes, I am.
to the show.
Yeah.
But
Guys,
how are you
so
guys doing?
it's a heat wave, if you will, here in Pittsburgh. 60 degrees. 60 degrees, I guess, is what it's supposed to be in
Ooh.
Western
Get
PA.
out of
This is a
here.
major heat wave.
Yep.
And this is after the groundhog makes its stupid appearance with its
Mm-hmm.
stupid rat head. But I got to say this, for only working once a year, that groundhog showed up way more over the past 8 years than the Steelers have when it comes time for important games. At least the groundhog shows up and does his job.
Oh,
Ouch.
8 years in a row,
I
Steelers
like
nothing.
it.
8 years in a row, that stupid rat still manages to pop it up and see its stupid shadow. But I think they're wrong. I think the Amish is up there in Punxsutawney. I think they're wrong because today it's already warmer. 60 degrees. We're looking at 60 degrees today, guys. A couple things before we do get started. We had the All-Pro game. We're going to talk about the All-Pro games. We're going to talk about that. We have the Super Bowl 59 coming up at the end of this week, of course. I want to say something real quick. If you were fortunate enough to catch the show on Friday, you got to see a fight. But you know what I'm most about that fight? And Finch should have
Yeah.
been hitting like the ring bell or like just something to get up, like, you know what I'm saying, like the ding
That's
ding ding
true.
ding, or
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
that's what we need
I
our
had
sound
a
guy
little
for.
excited. Yeah, I
He
had a
should
little
have been
flat.
hitting the ring bell or the
I think he was too busy laughing at us.
or what did the Mortal Kombat guys say? What was it?
Finish
Finish
him.
him.
Fight. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I read, is the fact
Yeah.
that we didn't take advantage of that. But besides for that, everybody, hope everybody had a great weekend. Again, we did get to finish the All-Pro weekend. The
There he
games
is.
finished up yesterday. A little bit of Pitt basketball, a little bit of NHL, some Penguin news actually. Also, the Steelers The Steelers lose their linebacker coach, Curry. He goes to the Jets. Into all that and more as the show goes on every day. There he is. I've been wanting to talk to you. Matter of fact, it was a busy weekend over Enthusiastic and from Caleb. He says, we are riding, or are we muting? I don't know. Anything going on as far as the technology, Mike? Anything out of sorts?
Yeah, you're glitch. Yeah, you just froze, but I can still hear you. There you go. You're back. Now you're froze again.
And there goes Derby's alarm again.
See, this pisses me off more than no other,
right?
Mike. This is what really pisses me off.
Right.
Yeah. This is really pissing me off because why? Why are we freezing? There's literally no reason. I do not know. Mike. I mean, no reason.
I don't know. I don't know.
We need to figure this out because this is really bad. I mean, this looks bad. If I knew what was being heard and what isn't, it would be a whole different story. I mean, I'm in the blue here, so if anybody could give me assistance throughout the show, that'd be fantastic. Over Enthusiastic in there, Caleb says we were riding or are we muting? Don't ask questions. What's a question? Groundhog Day should be a national holiday, and Yuengling should be the official water of the, or Yuengling should be the official water of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He says I'm cutting out. I did hear you say wanted to talk to me. I do. I want to talk to you. As a matter of fact, it was busy over the weekend over Enthusiastic in term Caleb, and I want to get you in on this mod, and I'm gonna have Mike get a hold of you today, and we're gonna work that out and get you into place. I tell you what, guys, let's hop into some of this Pro Bowl weekend. The final score on the Pro Bowl game, guys, was 76-63. This is why I hate the NFL Pro Bowl.
It was boring the entire time.
76-63. 3 in a row for the NFC team, 3 in a row for Eli Manning. Why is it a given that these two nerds are the faces of the All-Pro game and everything else that goes on in the NFL? It's getting boring with these Mannings, I got to tell you. But you know what? If it ain't them, they lose 76-63. Russell Wilson take a sack in a flag football game. We got to see Minkah Fitzpatrick finally. And we also got to see our superstar Cam Hayward play cards on the sidelines. I got to tell you, this Pro Bowl game, it's really becoming a waste. I was getting into it last week, but now after they finished it up, I'm so over it again. Why even pick Pro Bowl linemen? I mean, does it not matter? Does it not matter that they had Pro Bowl seasons too? I mean, just to hear Cam on the sideline say we want to play, I mean, it's not it's not that the players don't want to play.
Yeah.
It's just the way that they're setting up. Cam Hayward and the linemen, they want to play. They want to get down there. They had great seasons, and they want to show off. So, so that's what it is. So that's what I want to get you in here to do what Mike is doing right now. That way, he could focus on what he's doing. We could get our mod in. So we're gonna today. Mike, get a hold of over Enthusiastic intern Caleb after the show. Get him all set up. I want to get him in here modding tomorrow, and find out. Just find out details, would you, guys? Also, let's get back to this Pro Bowl game. It was 14-7 coming into Sunday, and after that, they accumulate points by all the different events and by the scores of the flag football game. And again, the final count was 76-63. MVP goes to Jared Goff in the defensive Aaron Murphy of the Minnesota Vikings. Think about the punt perfect, about how we used to enjoy the punting event at the Pro Bowl games. Well, I like it now. They have one guy who's not a punter and one guy who is a punter. And they go up against the other team who has one guy who's a punter and one guy who's not a punter. and
Yeah.
they take turns punting him into these 5 big these big holes they have set up. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool. I liked it. It ended up going to overtime. It went to sudden death, as a matter of fact. But that was actually really, really cool. I think the AFC won that, as a matter of fact, and that took the score up to 27-16. Then after that, find out details of what my mom said before she found my weed stash in high school. See, I like over enthusiastic and turned Caleb already.
He's been fire ever
You're
since
already-
he started showing in.
He's working his way up the ladder already. I got to tell you guys.
He's about to replace Derpy.
Wow, Mike.
I mean,
that is
Derpy,
not
you are
true, Derpy.
replaceable.
He's not replaceable. He's my Derpy.
I know. We keep vetoing each other when we want to fire Derpy.
He's
just
like
to let you know,
my,
Derpy, it is day to day with you. You are officially listed as day to day on every lineup, depending on how Ryan feels one day. And I got to talk Ryan off the edge.
You know, when a kid has a blankie or a stuffed animal, they just never want to let go and always want to hold, no matter how torn and how ripped and how broken. That's my Derpy. He's my blankie.
Yeah, he is.
I'll never let my Derpy go.
I keep trying to fire you,
Russell
Derpy.
Wilson again. Russell Wilson again. I think he has a. You're right, Keller Haas. He's not replaceable, just like that battery and that alarm. I couldn't agree more.
Oh, that was perfect fucking timing, bro. I fucking love it.
Comment of the day. That's comment of the day.
But Russell Wilson does get. I think he got 2 touchdowns, actually, 2 touchdowns in the game. But he did end up getting sacked as well, guys. He got sacked in a flag football game. That's going to go into a little bit more. We're going to talk about here in a little bit as we get more into news. I know Derpy, how he feels one way, because he, of course, has been all morning long.
Oh my
he's
Lord.
heated. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. But again, that's just kind of gives you an idea, guys. Russell Wilson, he did take a sack in a flag football game. How that ever? Let me move on,
You can read
please.
the comments, Ryan. You can read the comments.
What? Well, all right. Well, that's later. Everybody would just let me do what I'm doing. Then we could eventually get to the Steelers. But let's see. Also, Keller Haas says, which is insane, by the way, going on a month now. A month.
No. It's 2 years. 2 years, bro. 2 years.
You know what I said? I go, Derpy's alarm has been going off for 2 years. Mike goes, no. 2 years. It has been going off for 2 years. I don't know what he heard in his head.
2 years.
But that is true. It has been
I didn't hear what you said. I was
years.
reading his comments.
Enthusiastic. And sorry, Caleb says, keep Derpy around. His mom will find his weed stash and he will get grounded too. That's what that's what I'm concerned about. His Aunt Peach is high. Guys, but also in this game, they went to the Madden head. I've always liked Madden. I've always liked watching the Madden challenges on TV. But it was cringe. It was 5 guys sitting around on a chair playing Madden against one another. And basically the whole time they stood up and they would just stare at each other. They make a good play. And I thought, this is really boring. So I'm watching people play video games now. After that, the AFC did win the head-to-head Madden challenge. It was 39-25 at that point. The NFC was still in the lead. And then they go to the Great Football Race. The NFC wins that 42-25. Tug of War. Siamalo and Cam Hayward, as big as they are, they took the L in the tug of war. Got crushed. The NFC is now 58-39. Our second touchdown. Jamar Chase, 3 touchdowns. 6. Did he have 1 or 2 interceptions, Derpy? I only saw a second. Did he pick 1 or 2 off?
I think he had 2.
I did too. Like one down in his end zone, and the other one, and then the other one was the pick 6.
Yeah, he had one that was like a pick on a 2-point conversion or some shit like that. Yeah.
And again, 7-on-7. For one, why don't you just put the linemen out there and let them stand there and bump into each other? I mean, give it the illusion that it's something that reveals what the guys who earn their way to an all-star position. Doesn't matter if you like the idea or the whatever. You know, these guys earned a position. They earned, they were an all-star. There's a on a side in football. yet they go 7-on-7. I'd put the big uglies in there and just let them bump around. I mean, for something, I turned it on and Cam Hayward was sitting on the sideline playing cards with some other guy. And I thought, this is exactly what I want to tune in to watch, is Cam Hayward sitting on the sideline playing cards. Again, it's fun. Don't F it up. This is fun. You got all the stars out there. But why? Why would you go to a 7-on-7 when you play 11-on-11? At least, I said again, Mike, just put the big guys out there and let them bump into each other. Make it look like they're involved. There's nothing in the NFL that's 7-on-7. At least in hockey, how they went to the 3-on-3, they do a 3-on-3 thing in hockey. They do it in their overtime. They do it whenever there's a big power play. The 7-on-7, I just think it's silly. Why don't we play jacks or pinball next year for the All-Pro game? It would be all the same to me. Again, at this point, I don't know what they're trying to do. It's in a row. It used to be in Hawaii. That was fun. Certainly, wrong. I love All-Star games. I love the festivities. We got the NBA coming up later this month. We have the NHL. What's that, Derpy?
It was better in Hawaii.
What?
The Pro Bowl.
It was way better in Hawaii.
The Pro Bowl was better in Hawaii.
And I was in that stadium. You know that I was actually in the Hawaii Pro Bowl stadium. It was awesome, man. Yes, awesome. I was. You know what? They had a swap meet. They had a swap meet in the parking lot that everybody in Hawaii goes to. And we were at the swap meet, and when you had to use the restroom, you went right in the stadium and you used the stadium restroom. So if you were it's a swap meet, you had a piss, you actually went inside of the Honolulu Bull Stadium and used the restroom there. It was really awesome. You could see the field when you walk in, really cool. Over enthusiastic intern Caitlin said, let's have an NFL players play Madden. Right, come on.
That would be sweet.
They're getting their money's worth now. But there you go, guys. The All-Pro game, it finishes 76-63. Eli Manning's NFC team again, 3 years in a row. Again, the MVP, Jared Goff. And on the defensive side, Byron Murphy.
It just proves that
one of the funny.
Going to go for a repeat.
They're going to win. I mean, we will talk about that all week long. I don't know how that proves the theory that they'll win. Maybe because the NFC won, is what you're saying. And the Chiefs will again win 3 years in a row. That's what you're kind of alluding to. But a lot of things to go over today, guys. We got Steelers talk. We got the Super Bowl here on Sunday, Super Bowl 59, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of different things. I'm going to give you a list, guys. Everybody knows this list is crazy. Everybody knows this list is long. This is the list of Super Bowl quarterbacks since 2002 for the AFC. Rich Gannon, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Flacco, Patrick Mahomes, and Burrow. Now, the NFC quarterbacks so far since 2002. Brad Johnson, Jake Delhomme, Donovan McNabb, Matt Hasselbeck, Rex Grossman, Eli Manning, Kurt Warner, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Colin Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Nick Foles, Jared Goff, Jimmy G, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy. So again, maybe this is going to sleep. The fact of the matter that we do have Jalen Hurts starting again this week, unless Jalen Hurts goes down in the meantime and Kenny has to take the start, that would be just yet another quarterback that would start. But it's probably not going to happen. But then again, though, guys, NFC just can't. They just can't can't get it together against the AFC.
Yep.
You have 20 straight years of New England. You have over 5 years of Kansas City. Mike, is this AFC domination ever going to end?
I don't think so. Because look at the quarterbacks in the AFC right now. Outside of Mahomes, okay, boom. You see Mahomes and the Chiefs kind of fall off. You got the Bills ready to go. You got Baltimore ready to go. You have Cincy, if they can ever figure out the defensive side of the ball, ready to go. The best quarterbacks right now, for the most part, are all in the AFC. And what do you need to win? You need the best quarterback playing. Right now, they're residing in the AFC. You take a look at the top 10 quarterbacks. Most of them are AFC quarterbacks. I don't see it ending anytime soon. Even if Philly somehow wins this week, I think the bounce will shift back to the AFC still.
Mike, these 20 quarterbacks, these 20 quarterbacks for the NFC since 2002. Now, mind you, this is the 2024 season, albeit it's 2025.
Yeah.
So these 20 quarterbacks in the NFC that started in 22 seasons, I mean, there was some pretty good ones in here. Again,
Yeah.
McNabb, and of course, Eli did win his. Kurt Warner, Breeze, Rodgers. So, I mean, at the end of the day, these same 7 quarterbacks in the AFC keep, winning. But at the end of the day, these guys in the NFC aren't bad. These are pretty good quarterbacks.
No, they're not bad.
The domination is just always been in the AFC since the year 2000. As a matter of fact, since '98, since John Elway won his back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And then after that, the Rams won, and then the Ravens, then the Buccaneers, and then it went on the AFC tear of the Patriots really taking off at that point. So, guys, a quarter century, if you want to think of it that way, a quarter century of straight domination by the AFC is pretty amazing. But at the end of the day, you can't say that it's not good for football, because football is as good as it's ever been.
Yeah,
the ratings are as high as they've ever been. The viewership, the money spent, the purchasing, the licensing, everything is as high as it's ever been. So we're content with just watching the same 2 teams for.
I don't know if we're content, but it just we just happen to run into 2 dynasties back to back, and it kind of happened to a lesser extent in the 80s and early 90s when you had San Francisco and Dallas dominating, where the NFC was just so dominant. It felt like every year an NFC team was going to win the Super Bowl. Now, the balance has shifted to where, okay, it's going to be the AFC is going to be the balance of power. Of course, no one foresaw 20 years of New England dominance. It just happened that way. Then now, boom, you're falling into another dynasty in with the Chiefs. And it's just a continuation of like the late 80s, early 90s, but flip from the NFC to the AFC. And I'm okay with it as long as the AFC keeps winning, because I like AFC teams better than I do the NFC. It's just the way I feel. And as long as the AFC keeps winning, I'm happy. Just as long as we can get in there at some point, that would be awesome.
Guys, I pulled up a list of NFL fan bases. And that's about 10 fan bases. You want to, guys, let's just listen to some of these. It's like, the most annoying, the most diehard, these kind of things. Listen to this list. It's really funny. The most annoying fan base, according to this list, NFL fan base superlatives, the most annoying fan base is the New England Patriots, guys. According to this list, the New England Patriots is the most annoying fan base. Number 2, the best traveling. Philly's on this list too. Best traveling. Does anybody want to take a guess who might be the best traveling fan base in the NFL?
Your Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's right. Pittsburgh, best traveling fan base. The Eagles, the most aggressive. Fan base.
Yeah, those guys are something else.
They'll go on the field and beat the refs if they have the chance to.
The most diehard fan base. They would. The most diehard fan base. Diehard fan base. Mike, you want to take a stab at who might be the most diehard fan base in the NFL?
Diehard? God. Cleveland?
I was going to say Detroit.
Think of teams that aren't ever good.
Yeah.
Detroit is the diehard. Delusional. Guys,
Is that the Dallas Cowboys?
I think it's the most delusional fan base.
Is that the Dallas Cowboys?
It is. The Dallas Cowboys, the most delusional fan base. How about the most passionate? Now, there's no doubles. For the best traveling fan base, the Eagles have the most aggressive fan base. The Lions have the most diehard fan base. The Cowboys most delusional. We have 4 left. The most passionate fan base. Mike, who's the most passionate fan base, do you think?
Kansas City Chiefs.
The Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, most passionate.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh
Three
yeah,
left.
because they
makes
jumped
sense.
through tables before the game.
That makes sense.
That's passion. Mike, but who's the loudest? Who's the loudest fan base,
Oh.
Mike? The loudest.
Seattle.
Seattle. Mike, whose fan base would you consider to be bandwagons? Bandwagon fan base.
Is going to go
Again,
Kansas City.
I would say the
Kings,
Ravens.
Patriots, Eagles, Lions, Cowboys, Bills, Seahawks, all have been used. Derpy, who do you
I'd say
say?
the Ravens.
Mike, Derpy, who'd you say?
Ki-
The
I said
Ravens
Kansas City,
bandwagon.
he
I
said the
wouldn't say the
Ravens.
Ravens.
No.
It is Kansas City. That is they are the most bandwagon franchise. These were all
Really?
the Patriots fans 5 years ago. These were all the Seattle fans 10 years ago. And they are big Chiefs fans now. Things are really happening for them people. And finally, the non-existent fan base, guys. The non-existent fan base. Who do you guys think would have the non-existent?
Jacksonville.
Derpy, who do you think?
Chargers.
The Chargers. Yeah, so the most annoying, the Patriots, the best traveling, the Steelers, the most aggressive, the Eagles, die hard, the Lions, most delusional, the Cowboys, most passionate, the Bills, the loudest, Seahawks, bandwagons, the Chiefs, and finally non-existent, over enthusiastic. Okay, he was playing along in there. He said dark horses for the most passionate is the Jaguars. Yeah, they have to be in there too, I guess.
Duval. Oh
Yeah,
God, I'd hate to be
they
a fan
hang
of the
in there.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh
They
my
hired someone, I
God.
believe, just now for a new president.
Who'd they hire,
That
Derpy?
just happened.
Oh, really? Like just now?
Oh, no. Yeah, just now.
No, who cares about Jacksonville?
Let me see.
Right, meow?
All right, meow.
Right, meow.
Is it right?
Right,
Derpy, is it right,
meow.
meow? If it's not right, meow. I don't want to hear it. How about this, guys?
Tony Baselli.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, now that is a left tackle. If you want to talk about a natural left tackle, Roger Jones fans, Tony Baselli is a natural left tackle.
I think Tony
He's the
Baselli was their
executive
number
vice
one
president.
overpick all time. He was their number
Yeah.
one overpick all time. Tony Baselli
Dude
was.
is a beast.
Guys, guys want to try to guess some kicker, the top 10 kicker nicknames? We just knocked out the
Yeah, heck yeah.
we just we just knocked out the Pro Bowl. We're in the middle of Super Bowl, so I do got a bunch of random NFL stuff here.
Right. Who was the non-existent fan base? Roger Murray was asking.
The Chargers.
The Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers. Hey, how you doing this morning, Roger? Hope you had a great weekend as well. Guys, let's look at the top 10 kicker nicknames of all time. The top 10 kicker.
Right.
Some of these you may not know. Some of these you may know, guys. Let's start with number 10. Number 10 is Old Faithful. Old Faithful. Does anybody want to take a guess on who Old Faithful was? You'll recognize the name. This is a name that you'll know. I don't know from this nickname if it is, but
Adam
it's not
Vinatieri.
Morton Anderson. It's not Adam Vinatieri. Derpy, do you want to take a shot on who Old Faithful is?
No.
He said no. Phil Dawson, long time.
Oh,
big
nice.
basketball.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. That's the funny part.
Well, that's who he was gonna say. He didn't say, but that's who he was gonna say.
Next guy, number 9. So Old Faithful was Phil Dawson. You'll recognize a lot of these, so don't get me wrong, but there's a couple you may not. Number 9, butt kicker. Butt kicker.
What?
Harrison Buckert.
Harrison Bucker. Number 8, Wizard of Boz. The Wizard of Boz.
Chris Boswell, baby.
Chris Boswell. Number 7, you probably won't know this one. Hot Rod was Rodrigo Blankenship. Rodrigo Blankenship. This isn't the best kickers.
I know who he is.
Nicknames. Rodrigo Blankenship was Hot Rod. Did you know he was Hot Rod though?
I did not know.
Next on the list, you might not know this guy as well either. Number 6 is the Money Badger. The Money Badger. If you knew the kicker,
That?
you
No,
might be able to put it together. His name
No.
is Michael Badgley. Michael Badgley.
Oh, never
Number
even fucking heard of
5.
him.
Number 5. Hush Money. Number 5 on top 10 kicker nicknames.
Hush Money.
Hush Money, but it's spelled Hausch. Obviously referring to the guy's name.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Number 5, Hush Money is Steven Hauschka.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he kicked for New England, I believe, for a while.
Number 4, the toe. The toe. Not to be confused
Oh
with
my God,
Mike and his big ass toe.
Wasn't he the guy who kicked for the Saints who had no toes?
No.
I don't know his name back in the day.
No, it's not. It's not
Okay.
Dempsey.
Okay.
Lou
Okay.
Groza. Lou Groza.
Oh, okay. I know who Lou Groza is.
Down to the final 4 kickers here, Mike. Number 4, Derpy. Dicker the kicker. Dicker the kicker.
Oh, he kicks down in Dallas, right? I forget his name. Yeah.
Cameron Dicker. Dicker was his name.
I love that name.
Automatica.
Grammatica.
Right.
Martin Grammatica.
Number 2, Automatic. Not Automatica, but just Automatic.
No idea.
Number 2, named by a kicker. In Grammatica was Automatica. Number 2 is Automatic, and that was Adam Vinatieri. He was Automatic.
Yeah.
And finally,
he
guys,
was, actually.
Legatron. Legatron. You may not know Legatron, but how about number 1, Legatron? Anybody want to take a guess? He was a Rams.
Sebastian.
He might still be. I don't even know. They have a picture of the guy. It seems relatively updated, but I don't know Rams football like that. Guys, Legatron.
I don't know.
Was Greg Zerling.
Oh, Greg Zerling. Yeah, he had a leg. I'm surprised.
Yes, Yinzer Joe.
Sebastian Janikowski. I forget what his nickname was. Damn. Never mind.
Yeah,
but
I don't remember either. It's pretty.
Yeah, I knew a couple of those. I knew a couple of those
unmemorable.
kickers. Yeah.
Let's see a couple other ones I got. How about this one? You always see these, with these lists of the NFL teams, and then it has like a little comment about a couple of them, and it's like it's for example the top 2, and this is the favorites, and it has Kansas City and Philadelphia. Who America wanted to win? Buffalo and Washington. Next category, let's see, crashed out. Detroit, Tampa Bay, Deontay Johnson. They all come up on the crashed out.
Yeah, Deontay really crashed out big time.
That's a
good game. Baltimore Ravens and LA Rams. Good season, Minnesota and Denver. Gonna be scary good, Atlanta, the Chargers, the Packers, the Texans, and the Bears. Lost season, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. Up and coming, the Jaguars, the Patriots, the Raiders, and the Panthers. It's going to be a long off season. The Steelers, the Bengals, the Colts, the Dolphins, and the Jets. A complete disaster. The Saints, the Browns, the Titans, and the Giants.
Hey, at least we're not a complete disaster, boys.
So again, just a lot of random NFL stuff here.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, at least we're not going to be a complete disaster according to this superlative list. I'm okay with that.
And here's the thing. We were so good last year. Remember, everybody was all excited about all the pickups and the free agents and everything.
Yeah.
We thought this was just going to be such a great year. Now we're going into the offseason with like just a total different mindset. It's like, oh, what do we do to fix this problem? Because everything we did last year got us the same exact results we've been yielding for the past almost 10 years. So, again, I think we're a little further out than we thought that we were. Here's another thing, guys. This is from the Senior Bowl. Anybody see this? This quarterback from Oregon, Dylan Gabriel. He threw a ball at the Senior Bowl, guys, 74.9 miles an hour. 74.9. Think of that. Just take a minute. The combine record is 62 miles an hour by Josh Allen.
Dropped him
The combine record is 62 miles an hour. This kid from Oregon, 74.9 miles an hour. He threw that football.
Oh, he's going to be.
Think of how fast baseballs move at 80 miles an
This
hour.
cat's going to be this year's Zach Wilson because Zach Wilson was on his knees and threw that ball very far. Teams are going to overdraft this guy now just based on that alone. That's impressive, though. Don't get me wrong, but my God, I would watching this guy play in college,
especially when the record is 62.
Yeah, and like watching him play, I would never. This guy is a no draft man. If you draft him, you're drafting him to be a backup and not to be a savior of your franchise.
That's all they're drafting in the NFL anymore, guys. You're getting the same quarterback over and over and over, and you're finding out that maybe one of them is actually going to be that guy. That's what you're seeing right now with Jaden Daniels, but you're seeing a lot of the guys that don't have it.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, I hate to even say that, but this guy's already been in the league 5 years. What's his career? What's it going to be? I don't know at this point, but that is wild, guys. 75 miles an hour he throws a football, compared to Josh Allen's 62 record.
That's insane.
At the combine. He's a lefty, southpaw as well. So that ball probably has some wicked movement.
Oh, yeah. There's receivers like, what the fuck is this nonsense? Why is it spinning the wrong way, coach?
And if you ever face a left-hander in baseball, I mean, just the delivery, it's so different. The ball, it moves different because it spins the opposite way. But Roger says, is that because of his kicks or his allegations? No, it's his allegations.
It's just that's what people have been calling him recently.
He's Justin Tugger as of last week, yeah. But here is Justin Fields' numbers, Derpy.
Real quick,
this is your guy.
Are you eating or drinking something? Because all I hear is your beep, crunch, and shake, shake, shake.
Yes.
I just wish people could hear us talk. That's all. I don't even care if they listen to Derpy eat or beep or whatever.
Handle it.
As long as they can hear us talk. This is all I care about. No, eat away. I don't care. As long as people can hear us talk, that's all that matters. No. But it does that again. It doesn't matter. Just if people can hear us, that's all that matters. Yinzer Joe says, didn't Gabriel beat Ohio State? I don't know. I don't pay attention to Ohio State. As much as Derpy does talk about it, I literally pay no attention to them. But Mike could probably answer. I don't know.
They beat Oregon.
What happened, Mike?
They beat them. I said it. I said it. They beat them.
Who beat who? What's going?
Oregon
beat Ohio State.
Yes.
Well, everything, Mike, what you got to understand is why I keep I can't hear because everything keeps cutting out, and what people hear and what people don't hear, I don't know.
Okay.
So if I ask you a question, it's because I don't hear what you're saying.
Okay.
So what's going on with Oregon?
Gotcha.
All I heard was Oregon.
They beat Ohio State.
Let's work together here. Don't work against each other. That's, come on.
Yeah.
So Oregon beat Ohio State last year. What, in the playoffs?
No, in the regular season.
Oh.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Whatever. So let's get back to Justin Fields. Listen here, guys. The Steelers quarterback last year, Fields, went 4-2. 4-2 when he did have a chance to play. He had 10 touchdowns and 1 interception. And he's only 25 years old. Some people might say that's pretty, appears to have pretty good upside. Derpy, give me your argument. Give me your argument on this Justin Fields. I know that you went on and on about this, and why, Homer, tell me why you want him to be the Steelers quarterback so much.
Because he's a modern quarterback. And in the new era, you need a modern quarterback. That's how I feel about him.
But is he? And it's hard to argue Derpy in a sense because again, he had 10 touchdowns and 1 interception in 6 games. That you could certainly be on a lot worse course than that. Hey, how you
Justin
doing,
Fields?
Good morning.
You
either have it or you don't. If you're a modern quarterback, that doesn't make you automatically have it.
No, and he falls in that category like we've talked about before. People like him, Kenny Pickett, Mac Jones, Mason Rudolph, their processing time to see and read defenses is a whole hell of a lot slower than your top 15 quarterbacks. These guys are bottom tier starters, top tier backups for a reason. They can't do what you need to do consistently to play well. And that's going to be his biggest problem is, it's the reading and reacting of the defense. He can make all the throws, but he can't do it consistently. And that's why, if he's your starting quarterback, every game is going to be a struggle. He only had, one or two games where he threw for over 200 yards this year. And yeah, he may be a modern day quarterback, but you got to be able to push the ball up and down the field. And you can say he was handcuffed this or that, but he was still missing open receivers. Same thing we complained about with Pickett, and same thing we complained about with Mitch Trubisky. These guys, they're not your starting quarterback. They're good guys. They can go out and play a handful of games a year and put up good numbers, but they're not. He's not a top tier starting quarterback that's going to get you into the playoffs. He's not going to guy that's going to win you a playoff game. He's not a guy that's going to win you a Super Bowl. He's a nice bridge quarterback. He's a nice guy to have if you just want to keep having mediocre seasons. He's a bridge quarterback until we can find our guy.
Question.
I was just responding to Mark. I was just responding to Mark saying I didn't know it was 1970, buddy.
But I don't think he's wrong either. Just because a guy is can play an RPO, I don't think it automatically is going to make him a successful quarterback. Let me go back on what some of the guys are saying. Mark Malone says, Derpy, by modern, are you talking about the ones that run pro like we did in high school? Roger Murray says the modern QB throws and runs, and he's that, but he needs to develop passing and be patient.
Exactly.
Good morning, Jen. To you on the board. And Mark Malone says modern equals retarded quarterbacks that can only run RPO type offense. Again, I do want somebody who could play the quarterback position. I mean, to be athletic and to be able to be a modern day guy, which obviously isn't winning every Super Bowl. I think that Patrick Mahomes, he has that, but listen, that doesn't define what he is. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not any of these kind of guys. He's Patrick Mahomes. We ran RPO. Exactly. I mean, we did too, Mark. I mean, it's a college type style. And if that's what they're trying to do to the league, I mean, that is one thing. But again, it isn't all these RPO guys. It's winning Super Bowls or making it happen. Again, how many Super Bowls did Lamar win? How many Super Bowls did any of these other these really athletic quarterbacks, I guess you could call them? Are they winning? They're not winning any. They're not winning any. I mean, by numbers, they're not winning any.
I will say about Justin Fields, though, he drastically did increase his completion percentage. He's up around 66%. Now, if he can come back next year and, put that up in the 69 or 68, 69% range, that will be a very effective quarterback play right there. And then I'll be happy with that. That, that will show he's making smart decisions with the ball. But, can he do that? Before that, he's been a career 61% completion percentage guy. Was this just an aberration or not? Did it show signs of growth?
Let me ask you this, guys.
Do you
guys feel that Justin Fields – let me ask you guys. Do you guys feel that Justin Fields is better than Lamar Jackson?
God, no. God, no. He's not even in the same conversation.
Do you guys think that our offense is better than the Baltimore Ravens offense?
No. God, no.
I think he can be.
But that's all, that's all speculation. He's never done anything to prove that he's even that guy.
He had a good second half.
He's never made the transfer over to the NFL to where he was he hasn't done it. Again, that's a lot. The guy
he had a good second half of the season.
It just doesn't appear to have the X factor.
He had a good second half of the season in 2023 with him and DJ Moore. They were lighting it up, but no, he's not near in the class of Lamar Jackson at all. Lamar Jackson
and like Mark's saying, it's Kenny Pickett kind of stuff because they're only asking him to throw for 200 yards. They're not expecting him to go out and do great things. What does that tell you? I mean, that tells you that they don't even think that he's that guy. Again, we're looking for a bridge. I honestly believe that we're looking for somebody to keep our head above water until we could eventually get the guy that we truly want. I just don't know if, again.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson threw 41 touchdowns this year, 4 interceptions. I mean, Justin Fields is never going to do that. This guy's had years where he's 66, 67% completion percentage. This guy has turned himself into not just a running quarterback, but one of the better passing quarterbacks in the league, too. Lamar Jackson, he's Justin Fields nowhere near close to being a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen type quarterback, the one who can,
that's what I'm saying.
Can run all over you and throw all over you.
Elite quarterback.
Yeah.
You
He's
need
not
an
even
elite
like in that
quarterback in this
Patrick
league.
Mahomes. Yeah,
And I understand what Derpy's doing. I get it.
Yeah.
It's actually starting to get really annoying because nobody cares about this college. You're talking NFL, but I get what you're saying. But at the end of the day, is he that Derpy? Is he one of those guys? Is he one of those top 5? And I understand you recognize he has talent and he probably had a really great college career. But at the end of the day, is he reminding you of Patrick Mahomes when he does play in his first 5 years? Compare what Mahomes did in his first 5. The Chiefs weren't that great when he came in, and because of him, the defense is coming and going, the Tyreek Hills are coming and going, the offense is coming and going. At the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is a winner. He is a top quarterback. This is the kind of guy you shoot for. These other entertaining, they're not going to be quarterback that wins the Super Bowl. They're not. Guys, we're not even close. If that's what we're thinking, that we're going to win a Super Bowl if we pick the right guy out of these two, we're going to have another season just like we had this year, guys. And I hate to do it to Derby. I'm not jumping on it, but again, it's just you've seen enough football in your life that some guys don't. This guy comes around and has a great season next year, but at the end of the day, you gotta let logic sink in. Let's see what else.
Yeah.
Mark Malone says that would.
I was going to say real quick about Justin Fields.
Yeah.
His completion percentage was the same as Matt Stafford this year. So take that with what you will. If he can,
well, if you let him play 17 games, I'm sure that goes.
Yeah,
down.
I know that's the thing. Yeah, if it stayed that way through 17 games, awesome. But it's probably not going to happen.
you know, 6 games. He was 1 game over 500. He was 4-2.
Yeah.
You know, on one hand, you say, well, he was 4-2, but on the other hand, you say, well, he was only 1 game over 500.
Yeah.
You know, so it just all depends on how you say it. Let's see. Fields can't throw for volume without making tons of mistakes. Roger Murray says if we can morph Fields and Wilson into one QB, we'd be Super Bowl bound. So we'd have a short guy that
I think
the
so.
ball.
Yeah,
a short guy that can't take snaps.
No.
Like a winning combo.
No. You flip him the other way, Ryan. Flip him the other way.
Well, you still get half of the other. I mean, you still get that with that player. Says Hurts isn't that good, but they've surrounded him with. I agree. I agree. I agree. I don't think Hurts is an elite quarterback, but maybe if you want to take and build your whole team around Justin Fields and take your chance on let's hope that he's good enough to do the things that does do well. I don't know. I don't see that being very logical. But let's see what else. Yeah.
I was going to say, picking up on what Yinzer Joe was saying, like they build the team around Jalen Hurts. If you look them, that's what Pittsburgh wants to do: play good defense, have good running game, and have a quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over and hits the deep ball every once in a while.
They don't do none
that's
of that
the blueprint.
Well
that's but we can't do it. Yeah, so it can be done, but we just don't have the talent to do it.
And you let up more points than anybody in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Mike, anybody. Nobody's let more points in the first quarter this season than the best, highest paid defense in the league.
Yep.
This is what I'm saying. We don't do those things well.
Yep.
Those things that the Philadelphia with Jalen, who's not that guy. They have a lot of other things going on. We just aren't doing those things. I'll actually be surprised if he learns to take a snap from under. Mark Malone also says, I BS you not. I draft, and if need be, 2 more here. Have a team full of QBs. Over enthusiastic concern.
Thank
Caleb
God you're
says,
not the GM.
I know Mahomes is a GOAT. What's up?
I was like, thank God Mark Malone's not the GM, just our quarterback.
Over enthusiastic in term. Caleb says, I know Mahomes is a GOAT, but Alex Smith did pretty serviceable job. Alex Smith was a good quarterback. He was no Patrick Mahomes, but they weren't exactly winning Super Bowls under Alex Smith either. But he did do a servable job, led them to the playoffs a couple of times. John, what's up, my brother? Good morning to you as well. He says, Hopium. Also, Roger Murray says, Fields' athleticism and short yardage and Wilson's ability to read defense and throwing the long ball. I still think you come up short. Even if you mash both of these guys together, I still think you're coming up short. Again, there's just the X factor. There's something when you see a guy who has it, walks out on the field, and you know is drive you down the field in the fourth quarter to keep you in the game. Do you see that with either one of these guys? I don't. Not Russell anymore, at least. Anyway, you might have said that about him at one point. Let's see. Mark Malone says, I ain't opposed to bringing Fields back, but I'm damn sure be looking elsewhere too. I think that's going to be the ultimate
I
answer.
agree.
And Mark Malone says, you think we're going to get the right guy in the first few? No, again, it took us from Terry Bradshaw to Ben Roethlisberger
Yeah,
to get the right guy, which is what, 25 years.
Yeah. But I'm not going to sacrifice multiple draft picks on quarterbacks when I can be building the rest of my team and then scour free agency, scour the draft to find an additional quarterback. I'm not going to waste pieces to the puzzle trying to, draft 4 quarterbacks in 2 draft and hope one of them sticks. I'm going to be building my offensive line, my defensive line, my wide receiving core, my secondary, my
And
linebacking.
because when that guy does come
along, adding
Mike,
pieces in place. So when I have my guy come in place,
Mike, because when that guy comes along, you're going to have everything set up. You're going to have an offensive line.
Yeah.
You're going to have skill players. You're going to have a defense. So
Mhm.
you do have to keep continuing to build, even though you don't have that guy.
Yeah.
Because when he does come along, what happened to Ben Roethlisberger's team in his second season? They were good enough to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
2 seasons later, they were good enough to go to a Super Bowl. So again, we can't sit around and cry and hope that a quarterback falls in our lap. You got to continue to build your team to build a championship team. And when that chance comes, you got to take advantage and you got to snatch that guy up when you can. So maybe, in that case, Mike, I don't think that we're far off, but again, we are far off.
Yeah, well, we're far off, but I'm not going to waste, 2 picks at draft on quarterbacks. It's just the amount of quarterbacks outside of the first round that get you to the Super Bowl is few and far between, and those guys are outliers. You got to hit on your first round quarterback.
And it's, and how many sixth round guys? How many sixth round quartermen in the Super Bowl in the past 5 years? At least Tom Brady and at least Brock Purdy. What's that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the list.
Mark Malone says, why not? You think we're going to go out and go to where we need to go with that one? We're not going to go without one. I'm not saying take 1 and 2 first rounders. You know what? The search is on. And here's what guys, let me get into this because it is running kind of late. Rooney, he says he's committed to Russell Wilson. Rooney comes out and says, Russell Wilson comes out and brushed off the potential Pete Carroll reunion in Las Vegas because he says, I'm focused on the Steelers. Guys, so, where we are right now, who knows how it's going to work out. Fields, it looks like his market value over the weekend was revealed at 1 year for $6.4 million. Would make him the 27th highest quarterback in the NFL. This seems like it's going to be the route they're going to take. It's either going to be or both once again. And again, this is not going to be a Super Bowl type situation unless a million other things happen. Also, if you're not going to have that guy, you better have a lot of other things clicking for you, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had no 203 when Brad Johnson was the quarterback, or when Trent Dilfer won the Super Bowl with the Ravens. You got to have a lot of other things going on if you're going to win a Super Bowl and not have your guy. Other than those few teams, guys, go back and look at all the teams that won. They all had that guy, maybe with the exception of the Nick Foles Bowl. But you know what? They had a defensive wise players. So again, guys, where does this litmus test have us, Mike? Just in the overall scheme of things, not really good, not really bad. Is it safe to say, Mike, right in the middle?
Yeah, we're right in the middle. We've been drafting middle, finishing middle, staying middle, and that's where we are. And if you can get Fields for 1 year, 6.whatever million, under 7 million, I'm doing it. I'm not bringing Russ back. I'm going with Fields. I'm taking maybe a quarterback in the 4th round in this draft because outside of Cam Ward, I haven't so far early in the process been impressed with anyone. Video breakdowns I've seen, not a lot of people are impressed with a lot of people in the 1st, 2nd round. Guys, 3rd round can develop. I don't think any of them in the long-term answer. I'm bringing back Fields, and I'm playing for a quarterback for next year. That's what it is. Me, I'm on record of tearing this thing down and starting all over again. But we know that's not going to happen. So they're going to go with Fields, and they're going to surround with, what they think are pieces of the puzzle: wide receivers, D line, O line, cornerbacks, linebackers. That's what they're going to do in the draft. Maybe.
Let's see. Over enthusiastic. Caleb says, but we were riding with Russell Wilson. Respect the dangerous sandwich. 9-8 Super Bowl until the end of civilized time. Would you like a Wilson pizza? Was over enthusiastic. Insert Caleb. Yeah, you're probably right. Rooney is going to tie his balls behind his back by taking away a third of the field before the games even start.
Yep.
He also says, Mark, I know why I cope with the Wilson pizza. Why I cope with the Wilson pizza. A few guys, Mike, that maybe we ought to be interested in looking in this year to help our offensive struggles. T. Higgins is a name that keeps popping up.
Yes.
T. Higgins, and then also, Mike, we're not going to get our quarterback in the first round of the draft. So people are saying we have, the possibility of getting maybe a Genty, which I don't think he's going to be there. The receiver out of Texas, which possibly, and then also one of them guys from Ohio State. I think these are all the guys that are usually gone by the time you get to pick 21, aren't they?
Yeah.
Emeka Ubaka, he's been mocked in every single draft that keeps him in that range, 20 to 24. Same thing with like Luther Burton, the receiver from Missouri, who people have been high on all year too.
They're in that range. Is he a running back or a wide receiver?
He's a wide receiver. I think he'd be a great compliment to George Pickens. He's just a silky smooth route runner. He's not afraid to go across the middle. He has like combinations of like you'd see like a Hines Ward. He's not afraid to go across the middle, take the hit, but he's more athletic than Hines was. I think he'd be a great fit because he can play inside and outside, so you can move him around to different spots. I think he'd be a good pick. Luther Burton too. He's a smaller receiver at 5'11", but he'd still be a very effective complement on the opposite side to George as well. Those two right there.
I think it's a good idea having two tiny receivers in your top three.
At 5'11", that's about the same size AB was, and he was very good too.
You think it's a good idea?
Yeah, I take George at like
I'm
what
just
6'1",
saying,
6'2",
you're looking out on the
Burton
field,
at 5'11", and then Calvin Austin at 5'9". Yeah, 5'11" is really not tiny for
a pretty small group of receivers. Yeah, usually receivers are looking for bigger guys to size the DBs, but we will continue to follow that, of course, guys. Also, linebacker coach, as I mentioned earlier, Aaron Curry, he is gone. He went to the Jets. So again, there's a lot of things that this Pittsburgh Steelers team has to do this offseason. But let me get into this one last thing. Yeah, where's Roman Wilson? I mean, is this guy going to play? Is he going to be, is he going to make a, who knows? Who knows what we're going to have with Roman Wilson? But Roman Wilson, as you guys are stating, he's a little dude. I'm looking at him out there running and he's a little guy. I don't know. You tend to like that 5'10", 185 is a very small NFL football player. Guys, here's one for you. Did anybody catch this at the Pro Bowl games over the weekend? Marlon Humphrey asked his former teammate Patrick Queen. He interviewed him. He said, "What's the best part of being a Steeler?" So you know this was going to be candid, right?
Oh, God.
Marlon Humphrey asked Patrick Queen, "What's the best part of being a Steeler?" Patrick Queen, classer, beating y'all. Beating y'all, Patrick Queen said, was the best part of being a Steeler. Yeah. The more this Queen talks, I like him. I just wish he would do a little bit more on the field. Maybe we'll see that next year. For whatever reason, I do like him. He has good personality. He fits in with the Steelers.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anything that no reason why I don't like him.
Yeah, he had some like monster games this year, but he had other ones like, where was he? But my God, if he can, consistent, man.
See, I don't even remember the monster games. I really don't.
Me either.
I do. I can't name them off the top of my head, but I know he games where he was flying sideline to sideline, having like multiple double-digit tackles.
There's a few, but you got to think that he's got to improve, right? I mean, he's not going to come out and play that game next year. He's going to be better, right?
Yeah, he's going to be better. Yeah, he still had over 100 tackles this year. He was a tackling machine.
Yeah, but you're going to want more from that. Again, you went out and made that splash trade or that splash signing. You know what I mean? You want a little bit more from that. But you know what? It is what it is, guys. We do have to move on. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they finally win, Mike. They win 3-0 over the Predators over the weekend. 22-24-8 is their record as we speak. They play tomorrow night. They host the New Jersey Devils. The Devils come to town. Penguins make a big trade over the weekend as well. They trade away Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor to the Vancouver Canucks. Maybe, Mike, maybe people start taking these guys serious. I think that that was kind of what I thought maybe needed to happen, was to see them make a move like this to show that they're not just going to sit around the rest of the season, let it play out, miss the playoffs again, and go, let's see what next year brings. I like this, Mike. They're making moves, whether you like the moves or whether you don't like the moves, at least they're making moves, right?
Yeah. And they're making moves, and it's setting out for the future too, and with the increase in a big increase in the cap next year, you already have like your top guys signed long term. This team can do a quick rebound, and even if they don't use all their first round picks they have in the next 2 years, like 3 in the next 2, they can use those to trade guys that are going to have contracts expiring that they can sign long term, that other teams are pressed against the cap. I'm liking what Dubas is doing here. He's trying to walk that fine line, like we say before, of rebuilding and contending. I think this team might miss the playoffs this year, but be back next year ready to go.
We will see. Only time will tell. Mike, also the Pitt Panthers they play tonight. The Pitt Panthers, they host Virginia tonight, and then they get a rematch. North Carolina, who they beat just a couple weeks ago. North Carolina game will be coming up again quick. I believe it'll be their very next game. Also, Mike, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they put out a survey last week. That's, you know what, I think a lot of participate, asking questions such as, do you feel that the attending baseball games in Pittsburgh are worth your time? I would recommend that every Pittsburgh fan and anybody that even cares about the Pirates get on and fill this survey out, because they're literally asking the fans. If you, I mean, come on, if you can't tell that this team not winning anything in 30 some years isn't a sign, maybe they'll listen to the fans. But get in there, guys, fill this survey out. I think I think it's on their website, but go fill that out, because the Pirates stink. And again, the more they hear from you, I think the better. Patrick Mahomes' dad.
I'd love to see the results of that survey published.
Talking about the Pirates, Mike, and the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes' dad, we all know that he was a Pittsburgh Pirate back in 2023. Listen to his numbers. Patrick always has really great numbers. Listen what Daddy Mahomes did. He had 9 appearances, 1 start. He went 0-1, a 4.84 ERA, 13 strikeouts in his 9 appearances, 22 and a third innings. Mike, that was Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' dad as a Pittsburgh Pirate. That is his number line.
You know what? He would actually fit well into our rotation right now. Let's bring him back, baby.
That's the only thing we have going for us is a rotation. I don't
okay, maybe the bullpen. The bullpen, I mean, yeah, he'd be well coming out of the bullpen.
His best game was the first game against. I agree, Roger. Patrick Queen did have a good game, that first one against the Ravens. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. Over enthusiastic concern. Caleb says, I found a Pittsburgh Post-Gazette article that claims a group would look into WNBA ownership. Y'all ready for pro basketball to return? I'm gonna say this in the nicest way. It's not gonna happen. I mean, listen, they've been trying to. Okay, this is what they do. We have 3 pro sports teams, and then they take the amount of money. It's called entertainment dollars, and they figure out, is it even possible to carry another professional sports team? But since Pittsburgh is a small, big city, it's come to the conclusion many times in the 80s, in the 90s, the 2000s, and they always talk about either bringing in an ABA, a CBA, an NBA, a WNBA, and every time it comes down to the same thing, they just figure that it's not doable, because for one, I think you have to have a pretty strong fan base for something like the WNBA to even survive. What are you going to send a bad team here for a city that can't afford? And for 2, isn't going to be interested in going because they're not even a good team that has nobody. I respect the fact that people want it, but I just don't see it happening in Pittsburgh. Again, at 46 years old, I've seen this come up many times in my life, and nothing survives. The CBA team, the Pittsburgh Piranhas, they came here when I was in high school, and they went they went to the championship game, 1 season, and guess what? They were gone the next year. Even the football team, guys. What was this team that just played a couple years ago? The Maulers. If the Maulers isn't going to get, if a black and gold football team isn't going to strum up the interest in Pittsburgh to make it, to support it, I don't think a WNBA team. But again, I would like to see it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a WNBA fan. I just seen too much in my life that makes me think that it's not going to happen, at least anytime soon. He says, I think the group sees the upcoming $2.2 billion TV deal, and the max that WNBA contracts are $250,000 per year. So high profit. Again, I find it very unlikely. I support it. If it comes, I will support them. But I just, again, from everything I've seen, people don't even want to go to Pirate games. You know what I mean? We're going to support a whole nother team.
Yeah.
Joe says, hey guys, I came across a New England broadcaster talking about what the Patriots off-season options would be. He said they're going for TJ Watt and T. Higgins. There you go.
Ooh.
And they get the number 1 draft pick, right?
No. New England. I forget where they're picking. They are.
Are they high?
New England. 4th.
Oh,
That's high.
might as well be 1. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They get top 4 pick.
Yeah.
Plus, if you go after one of these guys, and you have an All-Pro quarterback, right? Drake May, they're a rookie quarterback. All-Pro if that means anything. So, they got about as much going on up there as we do. They got about as much as we got going on. They had an All-Pro, we had an All-Pro. Neither one of them deserved to be there, right?
Right.
Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The 2 Dum Yinzers, everyone. It's over there. Check it out. But all the links are all over social media. If you're new here, just check it out. Follow all the links. Follow Ryan and I everywhere you can. Got the merch store. Got the blog coming back after the Super Bowl. Check it out at the2dumyinzers.com.
All right, guys. Question of the day. This is going to be Super Bowl questions all week. Some of these may be Steelers. Some of these may not be Steelers. Nonetheless, they are going to be super questions all week long, Monday to Friday. Is the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 59 is Sunday. Philly, Kansas City. Here we go. Question of the day, guys. Mike, Derpy, Caps, everybody on the board. Everybody, here we go. Which player holds the record for most receptions in a single Super Bowl game? Which player holds the record for most receptions in a single Super Bowl game? Guys, take a minute to think that over. We're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day right here on YouTube. Sean says Pittsburgh isn't a sports winning city right now. Why would new teams want to come here? All right, guys. Question of the day. Which player holds the record for most receptions in a single Super Bowl game? I'm looking for a player, and this player has the most catches in a game in a Super Bowl ever. Roger on the board says Jerry Rice. Not a bad guess.
Very good guess.
Over enthusiastic in term Caleb says John to try the dangerous sandwich at Permani Brothers. Permani sounds good.
That sandwich is actually
Derpy is well on his way to. Derpy is well on his way to winning his season award for the picks. Again, one more pick this week. Derpy will be doing the Super Bowl later this week, and that will determine how much Permanis you will get. So you're gonna want to try hard. Mike, you're going to try hard as well. Yinzer Joe is saying Tom Brady to Randy Moss. Cattleball Warrior says Edelberg. Maybe that's Edelman. Maybe. But guys, the question of the day is this: which player holds the record for most receptions in a single Super Bowl game? Derpy, I'm going to start with you today. Who do you think it was? I'm looking for a player that has the most receptions in a single Super Bowl game. Derpy, who do you think it is?
Well, consider how many times Tom Brady was in it. It's got to be one of the receivers.
All right. He's saying Tom Brady because Tom Brady was in it so often. It's got to be one of his receivers.
It has to be one of his.
Give me Welker.
Wes Welker. All right, interesting. Wes Welker. I got Jerry Rice on the board. I got Randy Moss on the board. Edelman. Mike, I'm going to come to you. Yinzer Joe saying, no, it was a running back. Mike, I'm going to come to you. Which player holds the record for the most receptions in a single Super Bowl game?
I'm going to go Jerry Rice.
And Jerry Rice as well with you. And is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right. Catball Warrior says Timmy Smith. All right, guys. Question of the day. I do want to say welcome to you as well, Catball Warrior. Question of the day is this: which player holds the record for most reception in a single Super Bowl game? John says check down running back from Brady. Can't remember his name. Jerry Rice, Smith, Edelberg, Moss, all these different answers. Guys, the correct answer is 13. It was 13 different catches. So we're looking for the player that had the most receptions in a single Super Bowl. The amount was 13 by no one other than Demaryius Thomas.
Oh,
Demaryius
wow.
Thomas has the most receptions in a Super Bowl game with 13 receptions.
Damn.
Nobody mentioned that name. Surprise, surprise.
No, no, and
Huh?
dude was a damn good fucking receiver too.
RIP.
Exactly.
Didn't he die?
Yeah.
I think he's dead.
RIP.
Yeah, he is dead. Yeah, he died.
And then Jacoby Jones, who has had 108 yards returning, that he has that record in the Super Bowl. He's gone. So many Super Bowl greats, young guys. Guys are saying, wow, responding to the answer. I could have sworn it was Swen Nader. Who's Swen Nader? But yeah, that is the answer, guys. Demaryius Thomas. I do want to say I checked out Finch's show on Friday night. Finch and his buddy Tim, they do the two cranky jagoffs is the name of the show. Exactly, Cataball. He says he's easily forgotten we weren't in it. But yeah, I checked out the show on Friday night with Finch and Tim, the two cranky jagoffs. They had a lot of good stuff. So guys, do check them guys out, support them. They're on Friday right here on our channel at 9:30 p.m. Let's see, Yinzer Joe says White hauled in 14 against Atlanta. White. Is that is White a running back? Because maybe this is a receiver question. It doesn't say specifically, but the fact that you said that makes me think if it was against Atlanta, then if White was a running back for the New England Patriots.
I remember.
But anyway, guys, we do have to get ready to wrap things up here. Mike, anything before we start getting ready to roll, man?
Oh God, no! I was just scrolling through Twitter to see if I had anything to be fun to announce, but I got nothing, man. Other than the Browns are the Browns. You know that the Deshaun Watson trade cost them what? Joe Mixon, or what? Baker Mayfield, all those first round picks. Now it's going to cost them Myles Garrett. Please, Cleveland, keep being Cleveland, keep being the Browns. I love it. You're the most dysfunctional franchise in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm not sure Yinzer Joe and Catable. White hauled in. Yeah, I don't know. Timmy Smith, the Redskins. I don't even remember the last time the Redskins were in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, we're going pretty far back. From what I got from this page, it said Demaryius Thomas had 13 receptions. So maybe it's the receivers they're talking about, but I don't know on that. Derpy, anything before we do get ready to wrap things up, brother?
Maybe one day Myles Garrett will get a trophy shiny as Mike's bald head. One day.
That's fucked up, bro.
He wants out of Cleveland. I like that. I respect that. I hope he does well now. I'm not gonna hate. Listen, I'm gonna be able to enjoy Myles Garrett now.
Right now that we won't have to worry about him.
Well, here's the thing: that just basically they're standing put. They're not trading him. That's what just Rappert said is that they're standing put.
Would this happen in the last hour?
Yeah.
Since you broke the news, they were trading him. Now they're not trading. That's the news.
They're standing put on not trading him, but he wants traded out. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep our eye on that and everything else, guys. I have to go back in tonight or today and watch this show. I have a feeling, Mike. I don't know what to expect. How it looked on your side, but we have to fix some stuff, man. It's really so bad on sometimes through the show, and that's not good. So
Yeah.
I apologize if anything was hard to hear or whatever today. We're gonna take some time real shortly to put a lot into getting this fixed because it's not good. Again, over enthusiastic and bestowed the Russell Wilson pizza. Again, yeah, we're gonna have to keep on top of that, guys. We don't know what we're gonna do. We don't know what's gonna go on as far as the quarterbacks. I know what the Pittsburgh Steelers want to do. I know what Derpy wants to do, but what's gonna happen, I don't know. Again, we also have the combine coming up shortly after the Super Bowl. We have the draft. We have free agency, but nonetheless, it is Super Bowl week, guys. Super Bowl 59. This time next week, we will have a Super Bowl champion for the season. We'll be on top of everything all week long to get you prepared for Super Bowl 59. Tonight, the Pitt Panthers, again, back at it. They will be hosting the Virginia basketball team at 7 o'clock p.m. Everything else is either the Penguins play tomorrow, again, and then also be following all the Steelers scoop, all the NFL scoop, and preparing you for Sunday's big game in Atlanta. Mike, is the Super Bowl in Atlanta this year?
No, it's in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
I got something.
Yep, down in New Orleans.
What was it? Oh, the national champion was the national championship was in Atlanta, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, why is there such a pause between every time we talk? That's terrible.
I was thinking.
I don't know.
I was thinking.
Let me. Derpy, was the national championship, was that in Atlanta?
Yes, it was.
And that's what I was thinking. So it's in New Orleans. But here we go, guys. It is Super Bowl week. Everybody, I do want to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out today. I want to thank everybody for participating on the board. You guys always keep things interesting on the board. I want to thank everybody at home as well. We certainly couldn't do it without you. See, I think, yeah, Joe's saying I think that the chirp is cutting us out. Something's got to give here. We're gonna.
Wow.
We're gonna have to get on this, Mike. It's again, I mean, through the comments through the show, I mean, we're getting us all shows, so that's not good. So we do apologize on that, guys. We are going to be working hard to get this back to where you could hear us and things aren't cutting out and stuff like that. But Mike, today.
No, I got nothing, man. Thanks for everyone tuning in.
Watch the Puppy Bowl. It's more important than the Super Bowl.
Isn't that like a chick thing? Don't the girls watch the Puppy Bowl? But hey, I gotta say this though, there is a Pittsburgh dog in the Puppy Bowl this year.
There we go.
There will be also a dog from Pittsburgh. I don't know why or who, but I did read that. You as well, Cataball Warrior. You have a great one as well, my friend. But again, I do want to say thank you to everybody. Mike, for Derpy, for Mike in the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, for myself, the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to continue the NFL talk, moving into the NFL Super Bowl weekend. Thank you, Pete. Thank you. Peace out as well. Yinzer Joe, Mark Malone, Color Hoss, Cutaball Warrior, over enthusiastic intern Caleb, Murray, John. Who else? Am I forgetting anybody?
We got them all.
I think that'd be it. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. And tomorrow I'll maybe give Mike a noogie or something if I did miss anybody. But again, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. For Derpy, Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.